Hello dear students, I hope you are good and you are doing well at home. So I'll be your guide mentor for the whole session and I'll be teaching mathematics. Okay? So in this period of pandemic, it is very hard to continue the classes, and so in a virtual relationship with you, we shall proceed with the online classes. So I hope you will cooperate with me and we shall continue the classes, and if you have any doubt, I shall give you my contact number in the assignments as well as in the PDFs, so you can reach me whenever you want. And as we don't know each other clearly, so just feel free to contact me. Okay? So having said that, let us start our first chapter of grade 11 mathematics, that is sets. So let us see what is set. A set is a collection. A set is a collection of well-defined objects. A set is a collection of well-defined objects. So what is a collection? You can consider it as a grouping. That means if you take certain elements together, so that is called a collection. So when I use the word well-defined, it means that whatever collection we have taken, it should be very distinct. That means if I take certain elements, if this is a box and if I take certain elements here, so can I call this collection a set? We can call this collection a set only when the properties are same for each of the elements, whatever properties it may be. So that particular thing, that this element should be very much well defined. Clear? So for example, let me take the name of or the boys of grade 11 who scored more than 80. So suppose there are 40 boys or 20 boys in grade 11. So the number of boys or the boys of grade 11 who have scored more than 80 in maths, suppose. So definitely there will be at least 1, 2 or 5 or 10 students. So clearly we can write their names. Suppose the first one is A, B, C, D. So what will they represent? This A, B, C, D will represent that they are the 4 boys who have scored more than 80. So this is a well defined, or the definition is very clear that the score is more than 80. Clear? So we have got 4 elements. But if I write an example, the set of good boys in LFI. So can you define it? The set of good boys. See, suppose for me, I can say that that particular boy X is very good. For some other person, Y may be very good, but Y may not be good for me. This person may not be good for me. Here, so this definition, set of good boys, cannot be well defined because this varies from person to person. Clear? So in such a case, we cannot say that this is a set. Now, so a set basically it should be similar throughout the world. That means whatever definition we give here, it will be same across the world. Clear? So that is all about set. And whenever we write a set, the elements, suppose we write a set here A, B, C, D. These are called the elements, or these are also called elements or objects. Okay? Also one thing to be remembered is that the elements of a particular set is represented by small letters. That is, I have written here like A, B, C, D. So if you know the specific elements, then it's fine. But if you do not know the specific elements, then we write A, B, C, D and so on. And the complete set is represented by capital letter. Like here I have written capital A, sometimes I shall use B or X or Y and so on. Clear? So now let us see what is belongs to. For writing a set, you need to understand the symbol belongs to. So how does belongs to look like? It looks like this. So when shall we use this? Suppose A is a set and its elements are given by A, B, C, D. Okay. Now I can write, since A is a set having elements A, B, C, D, so I can write A belongs to capital A, or I can write B belongs to capital A. That means these particular elements are belonging to the set A. Okay. What if an element does not belong to the set? Then how shall we write? Suppose, let me consider E. This element E is not inside this set, isn't it? So I shall write E does not belong to the set. Clear? Okay. So next we have representation of sets. So as we have discussed about sets, let us see how to write a set. One of the first method is roster method, also called as tabular method. So what is a roster method? Here all the elements are listed. Suppose if I write the set of vowels in the English alphabet, then how shall we write this? We shall write A is a set such that A contains all the elements of the set of vowels, or all the elements or all the vowels of the English alphabet. Then I need to write the elements, that is A, E, I, O and U. So having written that A, E, I, O, U, what I shall understand? That these are the elements of the, or these are the letters from the English alphabet which are vowels. So they satisfy a certain property and they are very much well defined. Clear? That means in roster method the elements are listed well and written under a curly braces. Also whatever set we write, a set will always be written inside the curly braces. Clear? Okay. Another form that we have is set builder method. Set builder method. So what we do in set builder method? We define the set here. Suppose I want to write this particular set using the set builder method. Then how shall I write? We shall write that A is equal to, inside the curly braces, X such that I need to write the property of the elements. That is X such that X is a letter in the English alphabet. Clear? So when I use this X is a letter in the English alphabet, we clearly understand that these are the same set, that is A, E, I, O, U. So this is how we write the set builder method. Clear? Also one thing to be noticed is that whenever you write a set, suppose I have the word school, or I want to write the elements, or I want to write the letters used in the word school. So what are the words? SCH-double-O-L. So whenever you write the letters used while writing the word school, if I want to write these letters in the roster method, then how shall I write it? This will be written as SCHOL. Clear? So one thing you might ask, that where is the double O? Here I have written only one O. So the answer is that here we have written only the elements that has been used to form this particular word. Clear? Also one more thing, I have told you that this particular, or inside a set, inside the curly braces, the elements must be written in the small letter, but here I have used capital letter. So actually there is nothing an issue, because this I have written the school in capital letter, so I have just used the elements here. Fine? Okay. So I hope you have understood the roster method and the set builder method. So let us proceed to empty set. What is an empty set? A set which does not contain any element. So empty means nothing is there. So it means that a set which does not contain any element is called an empty set. So can you give an example for that? So let us take an example. That A is a set such that X, where X is a natural number such that x is less than 2 and x is greater than 1. So do we have any such thing? So see here, the natural number starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on, isn't it? But I have taken the x element that is greater than 1 but less than 2. So there does not exist any such kind of elements inside the natural numbers, isn't it? So this will be 5. That means that there does not consist any element in the set A which satisfies this property. Clear? So, and one more thing, that an empty set is represented by 5. That means A does not have any elements, so it will be represented by 5, or sometimes we use empty curly braces. Okay? You can understand it with another example. Suppose if I take 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I remove all these elements, then it will be an empty set. So this is how we get. Okay. So can you give any more example, or can you form any more example? Like if I take the set of girls in Dimapur with height more than 50 feet. So there will be an empty set, isn't it? Okay. So let us go to finite sets now. Finite and infinite set. So what is a finite set? A set which has distinct number of elements. A set with a distinct number of elements, that means elements can be counted, you can say, or the set has an end point. That kind of sets are called finite sets. For example, let me say take a set A. Here let me take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here I have ended the set at 6. So such type of sets are called finite set. That means we have 6 elements here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what will be an infinite set? That does not have distinct number of elements. So for example, let me take an example of finite set. Example of infinite set. A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So if I give 3 more dots, what does it represent? It represents that the set, this particular set, is not ending at 6, it is moving on. So such kind of sets are called infinite sets. Clear? So what is an example of this? This is the set of natural numbers. So a few things to be discussed. Very important sets that you have got in class 10 also, or in grade 10 also. This is the set of natural numbers. The elements will start from 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Just if you give 3 dots, that will represent that the elements are moving on. Next, we have the set of integers. Okay, so what is that? It will start from minus infinity. Suppose -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, again 3 dots. That means it is continuing. Next we have z plus, the set of positive or non-negative integers. So it will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Next we have one more important set, that is the set of real numbers. So real number starts from -infinity to +infinity. That means it will consist all the elements, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Also it will include all the rational numbers, that is of the form p by q, and also all the irrational numbers, that is not of the form p by q, that is √2, √3 and so on. So whatever elements that you have got throughout your study till now, everything will consist in the set of real numbers. Okay? So if I give positive real numbers, that is r plus, it will be the same thing, but the elements will start from 0, 1, 2 and so on, including the rational numbers as well as the irrational numbers. Another we have the set of rational numbers, that is q. This is noted by q. It will contain all the elements x such that x is equal to p by q, where q is not equal to 0. Not equal to 0, and p comma q belongs to the set of integers. You have got this in your grade 10 also. So this is the set of rational numbers. Okay. And what is irrational numbers? I can represent it by T. So irrational numbers will be the set of real numbers minus the set of rational numbers. So this will give us the set of irrational numbers. Okay. So I have elaborated these things in the PDF as well. Now let us see equal sets. Equal sets. So what is equal set? Two sets are said to be equal. Let me take two sets A and B. So these two sets are said to be equal if their elements are same. For example, let A is the set such that X is a prime divisor of say 15. So what will be the elements will be prime divisor of 15, the elements will be 3 and 5, isn't it? Also, if I write B is another set where X says that X is an odd number greater than 1 and or greater than 2 and less than 6. So this will also be 3, 5. So clearly these two sets are equal. Okay. So one more thing, here the order does not imply anything like if I write 3, 5, 7, so this is equal to 5, 7. For a set, the elements are same, just the elements need to be same. So then you can say that the sets are similar. Okay. So this is all about the preliminaries of set. So in the next video, we shall solve a few problems from the exercise 1.1 and 1.2. So till then, thank you and stay safe.